Hello everybody, I'm the Nerdy Guy, and today we're talking about the new World of Warcraft expansion, Legion, that they announced on Gamescom this last Thursday. The expansion so far from what they have announced looks good, but World of Draenor also looked good, and considering that they now confirmed that patch 6.2 is the last patch of the expansion is now officially the worst one since Cataclysm. Well, it's worse than Cataclysm. And it shows. I mean, World of Warcraft subscriber count is down to, I think, like 5.7 or something. It's the lowest it's been in 9 years. That's what World of Draenor did to the game. But from the looks of it, Legion looks good. You know, I'm not going to complain about the game yet, because it looks good. Now, Warlords look good too, and Warlords ended up sucking, but hopefully this does not. I'm not going to be pessimistic about the expansion, because I really want this game to be good. I really love World of Warcraft, and I think a lot of WoW fans agree with me. You know, we don't want the game to be bad, we want it to be good. So, I'm on WoWhead right now, and I'm going to go through all of the things they're adding, and talk a little about them. And, first of all, we're getting a new class, the Demon Hunter, which will be another hero class, like the Death Knights, which means that they're going to have this, like, starting quest chain, and they're going to start at a high level. Now, I've been saying for a while that they should add Demon Hunters to the game as a hero class, because right now we have the distinction of a hero class, but the only hero class that exists is Death Knight. And I always thought that that distinction is a bit pointless when there's only one of them. But now we're getting another one, and Demon Hunters are going to be leather wearers, and they're going to be either DPS or tank. They're not going to have a third spec, because they felt that would just water down the class. And I very much agree. You know, just focus on the two specs that already exists. And we're going to talk more about specs later. They're going to have a few abilities, and one of them is double jump, which is really, the more I think about it, the more useful I feel it's going to be. But Demon Hunter, it looks cool, you know. They're going to basically wake up in prison, you know, from the warden's prison. And you're going to have this, like, long quest chain, and you're going to have, like, a flashback where you get to see what happened to the Demon Hunters after the Burning Crusade. And, yeah, eventually you're going to be set free and be sent out to fight Legion. So that's going to be cool. And with the Demon Hunters, we're getting a 12th character slot. So, like they do with every time they add a class. And that's, thank you, because I already have 11 characters. Demon Hunters will only be able to be Night Elves or Blood Elves, which makes sense with the lore, but I don't like World of Warcraft elves. Sorry. So sadly I'm going to be forced to make one. Next up we have the artifact weapons. So in this expansion, one of the first things we're going to do is we're going to get powerful weapons, called artifact weapons. And there's going to be one weapon for each character spec. So, you know, Retribution Paladins will have one, Protection Paladins will have another, and so on and so forth. Now, Retribution Paladins are going to have Ashbringer, you know, the sword currently in the hands of Tyrion Fordring. And how they phrased that was, you know, you're going to pick it up where it was dropped in combat. It kind of makes me think that Tyrion Fordring is going to die. And another one of the weapons is Doomhammer. So does that mean they're going to kill Thrall? Feels unlikely. I mean, Thrall's always been their golden boy, basically. So it's likely Thrall will actually survive. He's just going to, like, fall in battle. They're going to drag him off to the sidelines and then, like, resurrect him or heal him or something. But Doomhammer still goes in the hands of shamans. And these weapons are going to be with us from the start of the expansion till the end. And we're going to upgrade them in two different ways. There's artifact power, which you gain from doing quests, dungeons, etc. And you do that to upgrade different abilities you have. So, Death Knights will essentially be able to resurrect themselves with one of the abilities they're going to gain. And then there's also relics, which drops from, like, bosses, and what they do is just upgrade the power of your weapon. So it increases the item level, the damage, the stat boosts, and so on. And yeah, they got this idea from Mr. Pandaria, where you, like, upgrade your cloak, and World of Draenor, where you upgrade a ring. Like, over time the thing becomes more powerful. And so I decided to focus basically the expansion around this. Like, you have this powerful weapon and you need to make it even more powerful. And, you know, they talked about druids, how druids, since they are mostly shapeshifted, their relics won't be visible, but they said that instead the relics will change the appearance of their shapeshift. That's cool. That is really cool. Yeah, I like that. The relic weapons, it seems, the artifact weapons, is a cool idea. You know, I'm interested to see what they do with it, because, yeah, it looks cool. You know, I wonder what kind of weapons the rogues will have, because they haven't said anything about it. So, yeah, and then there's the class orders. And each class, all the classes will band together and fight Legion in their own way. So, well, rogues, I'm a rogue, so we'll most likely do the whole assassinate key figures and stick to the shadows thing, while paladins might do a more head-on attack. And to do this, classes are going to form orders, so like Knights of the Silver Hand for the paladins. And we're going to have order halls, which are faction neutral, so all rogues, depending on, not doesn't matter if you're a horde or alliance, are going to go to the same order hall. And these will be in, like, thematic locations. Like, Paladins will have their order hall under Light's Hope Chapel, while, well, they haven't said where rogues have them. Warlocks have them in, like, in the Twisting Nether. That's pretty cool. Shamans have them by the Maelstrom. I really do wonder where the rogues will have them. I'm hoping, like, the sewers of Dalaran, or, like, some underground secret location with a hidden entrance. I do not want them to just do Ravenhold. Fuck Ravenhold. But the order halls will basically be your new garrison, but it's a better garrison. You know, they won't do everything for you at this place. You know, you won't have people do your profession stuff for you. You won't have followers. You will instead have champions, but the champions, as they said on Gamescom, won't do things instead of you. They will help you do things. So it seems like they themselves realize that, yeah, they fucked up with the garrison. So your champions will basically, like, you can send them to a zone, and then when you're in the zone, you'll get some bonuses, like they can come and help you in combat. They can say, like, hey, I found this cool place, go check it out. There's treasure over there, go get it. So it seems like a lot better system for followers. And instead of like an army like you had in the garrison, you're building like more like an elite group, like I said, Knights of the Round Table, basically. Now, they're doing some changes with the class specs to more define what differentiates between them. Like, from now on, Hunters, Survival will be melee with a pet, Beastmaster will be ranged with a pet, and Marksmanship will be ranged with no pet. Similar, Warlocks will be Affliction is Master of Dots, Destruction is Burst Damage, and Demonology is basically Beastmaster for Warlocks. I like this. This is another thing that I do like, because, well, as a rogue, Assassination and Subtlety are pretty much the same spec right now. Get daggers to stab your opponent in the back. Combat is different because as combat you get other weapons and you face your opponent head on. And talk about, like, the changes to make for rogues are Assassination will be more poison, while Subtlety is more ninja and combat is more pirate swashbuckler feel. So it will be interesting to see what they do with that. Hopefully they don't fuck it up. And then we come to story and setting. So the story of this game is that Gul'dan is sent to our Azeroth. So we're back in original Azeroth. Fuck Ultimate Universe Draenor. Where Gul'dan opens a portal for the Burning Legion. And it's going to just spew out, infinitely spew out demons. And Gul'dan also goes to the Vault of the Wardens, where the Demon Hunters are locked in, and he frees Illidan. Now, I have no idea what the Burning Legion wants to do with Illidan, because they do not have a good track record of working together. He's screwed them over so many times. He's failed them multiple times. So yeah, I have no idea, but it's going to be interesting. I mean, Illidan hates us now since we killed him. Well, we didn't really kill him, apparently, but... So we're going to go to this new continent called the Broken Isles, and it's going to start with some event called the Broken Shore. And I think that's our first attempt at storming the Legion, and I think it's going to fail miserably. Because I think, like I said earlier, Tyrion Fording is probably going to die. And then we're going to go to the Broken Isles, and we're going to quest around, and we're going to find the Pillars of the Creation. Pillars of Creation. Fuck. And we're going to use them to basically seal the Legion portal so they can't go into our world anymore. And Alarion Trallon will apparently be back, finally. They've been gone for years. For those of you who don't know who they are, they're in the books. You know, they haven't been seen since Warcraft. Well, they're in Warcraft 2 as well, but they haven't been seen since Warcraft 2. They need to fix that. Dalaran is going to come with us. So we're going to have a faction-neutral city to go to. And I like that. I love Dalaran. You know, throughout Cataclysm, I had my Hearthstone set in Dalaran. Dalaran is a really cool city. I honestly hope it's going to be unchanged. It's going to be just exactly Dalaran as we remember it. But with, like, upgraded vendors and whatnot. That would be so cool. And apparently Khadgar is now in charge of the Kirin Tor, and Jaina no longer is. All they said was she's upset. So I'm thinking, like, is Khadgar just walking up, kicking down doors like, what up, bitch? I rule now. GTFO. But, yeah, the story seems cool. You know, we've been waiting. The Legion is bound to return. Sorry, my dog is here. The Legion was bound to return sooner or later, and now we have a Legion invasion. So we need to take care of that. Then there's a lot of info about the Broken Isles and how they're set up. And yeah, basically what we're going to do is we're going to go through the different zones and find the different pillars of creation. So we're going to quest around, and it looks really good. I mean, even graphic-wise. You know, the graphics haven't really been updated in a while, but this actually looks pretty good. Yeah, the link to this site will be in the description, so unless I forget it, but then remember, and then remind me. I think my dog wants to go for a walk, but I'm going to do that later. They're adding some new dungeons, 9 dungeons. And they talked about how they've been doing dungeons a disservice in the last few expansions, and I agree. One of the most important things you need to remember is add more dungeons. You know, throughout the patches, give us new dungeons. They stopped doing that after Cataclysm, and I don't understand why. Because when you do the same dungeons over and over and over again, you get kind of sick of them. So, with adding new dungeons, you give us new stuff to do. Cataclysm added the troll dungeons, Solgrub and Sulaman. They give us new shit to do. They added the Hour of Twilight. That was 3 new dungeons. That's a good idea. Do that. So yeah, we have 9 dungeons, and apparently they're going to focus more. They're going to give you more reasons to do them again. And they talk about 2 new raids to start with. It's the Emerald Nightmare and the, I think it's called like Temple of Suramar Palace. And the end boss of the Suramar Palace will apparently be Gul'dan. I don't remember they said it was an end boss. He was a boss, but yeah. And he also talked about like Suramar Palace is going to be Elvish, so no more spikes, fell fire, and whatnot. They talked about different figures in the lore, and one of the people they talked about was Jen Greymane. That makes me happy because I'm a Worgen. And Jen Greymane hasn't really been mentioned in the lore for a while, so it's going to be fun. Going to be fun to see what they do with his character. You know, is he going to get back Gilneas? I hope so. I don't want to go to Darnassus. Like I said, I don't like elves. There's a new PvP honor system, and basically you're going to level up. You know, you're going to do PvP, you gain honor as XP, and you level up, and you have a new talent tree for PvP. That's good. I don't play PvP, so meh. They're making some changes to the transmog system, and you're basically going to be able to save outfits and switch between them, so you don't really need to fill up. You won't have to worry about filling up your bag space or your bank space or your void storage, because even my void storage is getting full. And then some new social features. You know, you're going to have like communication with circles, like you're going to have your raid friends in one circle. I think it means like you can contact them all at once. And they're also like, if you queue up for, let's say, LFR, then all your friends who are eligible to queue up will get a message saying, hey, your friend just queued up, and you can queue up with them if you want to. They're upgrading the professions. And again, they're admitting that, yeah, the garrison's really fucked over the professions. Like, oh yeah, here's your follower, he's going through profession shit for you. That follower is going to gain or gather ore for you. You don't have to do anything, just meh. So they want to be much more of a focus, and they will even be like quest lines for the professions. So that looks cool. and some system changes, updates that improve UI and add new functionality to gain expertise in individual recipes. I just read that straight from the site, but that looks cool. And lastly, flying. So in Draenor, they are going to add flying with patch 6.2.1, and to get flying, you need to do like pretty much lore master. You know, you need to do everything the expansion has to offer, and you will gain flying on every one of your characters. And apparently, they have a similar system in plan for Legion. Now, personally, I'm more than okay with it. I think flying is something that needs to be earned, because this forces people to go out and actually do something. Because most other people today complain like, "Oh yeah, there's no reason to do stuff anymore. You know, you can just sit in the capital and just queue up for dungeons." You can, but you shouldn't. And I think this is really good things. Like, oh, you want to fly? Fucking earn it. So yeah, that was it. I just went through the entire site. This video is really long. I think I'm running out of memory on my phone. So, what do you think about Legion? Leave a comment and tell me. Rate this video. Subscribe if you like my videos, and until next time, I'm the Nerdy Guy, and you just watched Nerdy Guy Rant. Bye!